Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back with me, Dheyananda Alfadilah from PBI B. This time I will retelling an article. The title of this article is Grammar Instruction in Communicative Language Teaching Classrooms, Student Teachers Perception. With Muhammad Holandyah, Dian Erlina, Leni Marzulina, and Fitria Rembulan Ramadhani as the authors. The problem of this study is to know how many perception toward grammar English instruction in communicative language teaching classroom between teachers and students. Objective of this study was to find out the teachers and student perception toward grammar instruction in communicative language teaching classroom. The study was conducted in Islamic Junior High School Palembang at MTSN 2 Palembang. The authors choose English teachers and students of the ninth grades at MTSN 2 Palembang by using purposeful sampling technique. The study used intrinsic case study method as the way to collect the data. In this research, in order to find out the teachers' and student perception in grammar instruction, in communicative language teaching, authors use interview in order to gain information. After they collected the data, they analyzed the data by using thematic analysis. In this research, they used trustworthiness to evaluate qualitative data analysis to make sure that the findings were credible. Creswell in 2012 defines validating is the researchers evaluate authenticity or credibility of the result through some techniques such as member checking or triangulation. In this study, it was found that there was several information about teachers and students' perception toward grammar instruction in communicative language teaching classrooms. This consisted of A. The importance of grammar, B. Classroom activities, C. Quality and quantity of error correction, D. The role of teacher in classroom, E. The role and contribution of students in the learning process. And finally, concluding from these studies are, based on the data analyzed by using thematic analysis, it was found that the teachers and students' perception toward grammar instruction in communicative language teaching, the first, teacher think that provide students with explicit explanation was an effective way to teach grammar instruction in CLT classroom. 2. In learning process, teachers using group and pair work was designed to promote communication in CLT classroom. Third, teachers claim that in a learning process error correction was one of process student to mastering materials. So, correcting mistakes was an obligation for teachers. Fourth, teachers perceived they should act as motivator in the teaching learning process and training students to take responsibility and develop their activities. Fifth, in teaching grammar instruction in CLT classroom, students shouldn't only mastering the theory but also practicing the theory. The second, students' perception in learning grammar in communicative language teaching classroom. First, students considered grammar as an important part in English, so they need to know and learning grammar. Two, or the second, students claim that learning grammar in CIT with group activities help them to learn and practice comfortable. Third, in learning students, error has been considered helpful in achieving successful communicative competence, so students did not feel bad when the teachers corrected their mistake. 4. Students perceive in learning process teachers should motivate students to more practice in using English language and explain the materials interestingly. Fifth, students argue that they should taking part on the process of learning and following the learning process well. This research only focused to find out the teachers and student perception in grammar instruction in communicative language teaching, teachers and student perception in teaching and learning grammar instruction, in communicative language teaching because the limitation of time, we expected the students considered grammar as an important part in learning English language. So the study can inspire the students to increase their interest in learning grammar in CLT classroom. So it was better for students to start using the language communicatively at the grassroots level. Authors hope that The teachers help the students to consider a better way in teaching grammar instruction in CLT classroom. The teacher should know what the student need in improving student skills. The teachers also should create an English environment in the class to promote communication in CLT classroom. Also, the teachers should act as a motivator in the teaching learning process to increase student opportunities to practice English because in learning English language is not only mastering grammar but also to increase students opportunity to practice English language. Last, the authors hope that the present study can be useful for the next future researchers who are interested to exhibit more information about teachers and students' perception in grammar instruction in communicative language teaching. So that's all about my retelling about this article. I'm sorry for the mistake and thank you for the attention. See you in the next video. Bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.